Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and welcome back to Civilization 6. It has been an age, hasn't it? So long, in fact, that it feels like it can't really be happening, can it? Hence our returning series title, In Denial. There are a few other reasons for that title as well, but this series has been a long time coming. In case you're new here, I just brought my channel back online in January of 2023. However, the idea and title for this series, in which I am for some reason playing as a leader who has in this game historically been my most passionately despised, is older than that. Much older than that. But you know that, don't you? You've been waiting long enough. Let's talk settings, leader, and enabled mods. Game settings and seeds are displayed on the left side of the screen if you'd like to recreate this playthrough and play alongside me, or later on, whichever. Seeds can also be found for easy copy pasting in the description below. Short version is we're playing with every single expansion and DLC add-on available, quick speed, on a large continents and islands map with 9 AI opponents and 15 city-states. No turn limit, no special game modes yet, and oh, the world is very hot and wet, to give the world that lush, sandy, Nile Delta kind of vibe. For this reimagined version of In Denial, we get to play as the brand new Ptolemaic Cleopatra, released as part of the Leaderpass DLC. And as a player, I have to say, I already prefer this version to the original Egyptian Cleopatra. The key difference is that her bonuses are not contingent upon establishing trade routes with other civilizations. Resources that sit on floodplains tiles grant additional food and culture for Ptolemaic Cleopatra, and floodplains tiles have additional appeal, which may come in handy if we need to pursue tourism for a cultural victory. I tend to go heavier on internal trade in Civilization 6, so I immediately like this CLEO better. Last but not least, since this is a very exciting and long-awaited return to familiar territory for my channel, I am going absolutely ham on the mods. Modded playthroughs are pretty standard for my Civ content. Most of these will be familiar to longtime viewers, but most notably, I am disabling both rock bands and the GDR, Giant Death Robot, this time around. Links to these mods, as always, are in the description below. And many thanks, as always, to my friend and hardest working modder ever, Sucratact, for his many contributions to the community and to this series mod pool. Just before we kick off the series, let me also say thank you to our new nobles and champions. Becoming a member of a YouTube channel you're subscribed to is like subscribing to a creator that you already follow on Twitch. And it increases how much your viewership supports the channel by 300 to 400%, at least. Champions add around 2,000%, which is why their names are in the backdrop of this segment, by the way. The member badges and emotes you've seen around chat and in comments are just the two most visible perks. You can see a full list of them by clicking join, which depending on your device is either right next to the subscribe button or beneath the channel intro on the channel's front page. Memberships give me more freedom to focus on the kind of content the Legion's already here for, so whether you're a champion, whether you're a noble, whether you're a long-term subscriber, and whether you're a member or not, thank you all for the generosity with which you have supported and continue to support the channel over the years. By the way, I'm going to be playing on a nice, somewhat spicy king difficulty since I sort of threw this mod cocktail together the last minute and haven't playtested it at all. So this is probably going to be a good series to watch if you're a newer player and not really interested in playing on Immortal or Deity just yet. And don't worry, we'll re-up the difficulty as I get back in the swing of things. Take it away, Sean.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. There will be those who underestimate you, but you are cunning and full of tricks, Queen Cleopatra. Your charm will establish indestructible alliances with the strongest leaders of the world. Keep your friends close by your side, and you will find yourself untouchable, with the glory of Egypt primed to win over the world.
I will never tire of listening to his introductions to leaders. I really don't think I will. So, here we are on turn 1. And it doesn't look like we have a Plains Hills tile underneath us, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, that is simply a Plains tile, which is not ideal. We have one over there, but it also looks like we have one right next to us. We are not starting on the coast. Let's maybe look around a little bit and see if that is definitely a river. Okay. Well, tell you what. Let's, we're not going to found this city this turn. We're going to wait till next turn. I'm going to move my settler over here. If you don't know why I want the Plains Hills tile, that's because when you found a typical city on most tiles, it will give you 2 food and 1 production by default. It will change the tile that it's sitting on, except in very specific cases. One of these specific cases is Plains Hills. Plains Hills cities have 2 production and 2 food. So from the beginning of the game, if your capital city can, have double the starting production that it would have otherwise, obviously there are bonuses later that increase your production beyond 2. But if you can have that extra production point for the entire game, it's very useful. Oh, just kidding. We are on the coast. So obviously, since we moved our settler, we're not going to be able to actually settle the city this turn, and we have moved that warrior as much as we can. We've discovered our home continent, which is the continent of Laurentia. I'm going to do the best job that I can with actually reading notifications in this series. Maybe not reading all of them aloud, but paying attention to them more. I tend to move somewhat quickly through Civilization 6 when I'm playing both online and offline, and I think that one thing that's happened in the past is I tend to overlook some of the things that the notification system is telling me, simply because the notifications are so unintrusive that oftentimes they can go unnoticed when I'm playing at full speed. So let's go to turn 2 and found our capital, Roccadet. The citizens of Roccadet adjust to their new home and keep a wary eye on the nearby river, which is, by the way, the Rosetta River. Your knowledge of sailing has advanced considerably, so we got the boost specifically because we founded a city on the coast, which that's a pretty handy start. I like this start already, to be honest. Let's go ahead and have a look around using our warrior without wandering too far. Research-wise, I'm going to go for astrology first. As tempting as sailing is, we have that boost, so when we're ready to go for sailing, it'll be easier to nab that. But religion, as soon as possible, please, because the additional bonuses are going to come in handy. I do want to build a scout in the city first and foremost, and we're going to set Roccadet to, or Recadet, I suppose, if you really want to use perhaps more accurate pronunciation, I'm not sure, to additional growth. So basically growth focus. Any citizens will prioritize the tiles with the most food output, which is quite handy. Yes, we got the tech boost for sailing, and we achieved a historic moment, it looked like. Yes, as we just saw. All right, so we've got a bonus resource of some deer over here and a lot of cattle. So this is going to be an area worth settling fairly soon. But we also have some wheat near us. It looks like just close enough to be exploitable by Roccadet. And then we also have this gypsum resource. I don't, however, see a lot of floodplains tiles near this capital city. So we're not going to be able to take advantage of Ptolemaic Cleopatra's bonuses just yet. And that's fine, but I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Aha, first goodie hut right up there. So, tribal village discovered. Yeah, this is a very... Oh, hi. Well, that's inconvenient. All right, you can wait. I'm going to fight these guys first. You might have noticed for the mods, we are running a few mods on barbarians. We're getting more XP from barbarians because Civ 6 tends to cut. That's incredibly rude. Excuse you, I was about to come fight you. Now I just have to fight your base. So the mods we're running on barbarians reduce the number of encampments, I believe, by about 33%, and also make them spawn a little bit farther away. Also, they make it a little bit less likely. I don't remember the exact effect, but they make it a little bit less likely for horse barbarians. Not impossible, but less likely for horse barbarians to form. And then, of course, we can get a lot of XP from them. As I was about to say, the base game of Civilization 6 caps the amount of XP that a standard unit really can get from... Hang on, let's go ahead and give you your promotion. That a standard unit can get from fighting barbarians. It caps those pretty quickly. It's quite sad, really. But with this mod that I'm running, we'll be able to level up units a little bit more by fighting barbarians. So don't quite have the settler size to train a settler yet. I think what I want to do is go ahead and go for a builder in this case, because a builder will be able to build Cleopatra's, or Egypt's, unique building, which is the Sphinx. And the Sphinx will give us additional culture, which is one of the things we're going to get from the monument. Now, the loyalty bonus of the monument is nice as well. But if we can have a settler in 5 turns, I'd rather, or I'm sorry, a builder in 5 turns, I'd rather have that than the monument first, even though the game is recommending the monument. All right, so we found this barbarian outpost. I'm well aware of that. Thank you, game. This scout is here to make my life miserable now. Let's see if we can keep him from discovering Raw Cadet. Meanwhile, let's try and do a little bit of damage to these guys here. It's kind of serendipitous that we've spotted the barbarian encampment this early, because it allows me to kind of keep an eye on it. Barbarians approach, yes. I know, I'm well aware. Let's see what we can do. Alright, I'm going to just kind of keep an eye on that scout while also doing a little bit of scouting of my own. Alright, let's have the warrior fortify, because he can't really fight again in his current state. Oh, really? This is what you're going to do? Alright. I'm going to have to really keep an eye on that scout. And he's seen me. Okay, so interestingly enough, I could build the Sphinx right there, but I think I'd rather wait for tile growth to build it elsewhere. I want to have a farming tile first and foremost to help growth. So let's do that. That's now changed the yields of that tile to 2 food. And as you saw, the growth speed of Raw Cadet changed a little bit. It's now going to take 1 fewer turn. It was 8 turns a moment ago, and now it's 7 to grow to its next population size. And that effect will continue to compound as more citizens are available to work these tiles. So now let's go ahead and queue up that second settler. I need another city as soon as possible, please and thanks. And why not go ahead and hit the barbarian encampment a second time? Just have to keep close eye on my warrior's health, if at all possible. Okay, not too bad. Let me go ahead and hit this barbarian scout with my scout. I'm mainly just going for the experience, and yes, I have scout cats. I couldn't resist, especially for an Egypt series. It just felt somehow appropriate. And there were no complaints that anyone listened to. Key qualification there.
At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst.
So we've completed our first civic, and now we have our first policy options. I'm going to select God King, so we have the faith and gold bonuses per turn. The presence of this barbarian encampment has slowed down my scouting a little bit, which is frustrating, but we'll deal with it. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and give ourselves that combat bonus for fighting barbarians. So now we're gaining a little bit of faith and gold per turn, which is useful. I'm going to use my scout to... I'm going to follow that one because I do want to keep a close eye on it, but we still have that goody hut to grab, excuse me. And I would like that as soon as possible. Oh yeah, I need to research the Sphinx, so we don't need to worry about it too much yet. But it's going to be done at this point in 16 turns, but hopefully we'll gain some culture soon and get it done a little bit faster. Maybe. Progress towards foreign trade has advanced considerably because we've discovered an additional continent, Kalahari. So foreign trade, which is the other civic on our current branch in the tree, or rather I should say the opposite branch at our current point in the tree. All right, so I could attack with my scout right now. It would gain some XP, and of course if you can promote the unit, they get a courtesy heal. So sometimes it can be advantageous, as experienced Civ 6 players know, to go ahead and take care of combat if it might level up your unit. Let's have them heal for a moment longer before I do anything else with them. Oh, Gorgo. None at the moment, Gorgo. Appreciate that, but hopefully some soon. It is an honor to meet you. Exchanging information on our capitals is a great idea. It should help promote trade. So we have met Sparta.
I don't believe in
Oh,
astrology.
that's not good timing.
I'm a Sagittarius, and we're skeptical.
That quote never ceases to make me laugh. All right, your knowledge of writing has advanced considerably because we've met another civilization. So we also just finished astrology. So with that, let me now research pottery as a precursor to writing, which we now have the boost for. So that's pretty handy. Now it looks like someone else might defeat that scout. I'm not going to complain if that scout gets defeated by someone else, but I would prefer that... Okay, so we've got a small problem here. Barbarians being a nuisance as usual. We were trying to get this warrior healed up a little bit more so they could have a very strong attack this turn against the spearmen, and the camp just spawned a slinger. So now, if I attack, it'll still be classified as a minor defeat. The spearman unit will be weaker than mine, but still vulnerable. My unit will still be vulnerable to attack, and the slinger could come in and do additional damage. That being said, that's a marsh tile. So the slinger won't be able to move and attack next turn. I could do some damage and potentially even get a promotion. You know what? I'm going to go for it. Because the slinger's not going to be able to attack me this turn. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, that worked out then. Okay, so promotion available. We can do additional combat strength against melee and ranged units, or additional combat strength when defending against ranged attacks. I will go ahead and go for Battle Cry here. It looks like they moved the slinger away. They're like, this is pointless. There's no reason for us to pursue this goal. Why are we even trying? We're going to die. That's hilarious. All right, we're going to keep our builder there because there's nothing for the builder to do at the moment. Tell you what, Gorgo, can we send you a delegation? Because apparently Gorgo already doesn't like me, given that... All right, so what would make you like us? Let's review the terms. Agendas. Never gives up items in a peace deal, and likes civilizations who match that approach. Dislikes civilizations who have capitulated, who have never gone to war. Grievances against this leader decay at twice the usual rate. Okay. So she really wants me to fight a lot, which means she's probably going to want to fight me, which is lovely. I love that this series is starting out this way, where a barbarian distraction has slowed down my initial exploration, and yet I'm doing everything I can. And now there's a warlike opponent close. Oh look, 1,000-year flood. Nice. Thankfully it didn't hurt anyone. Hurt her scout though. Get wrecked. Alright, so let's go ahead and annihilate this camp. We'll get some era score for that. We'll get some gold for it. Our progress towards military tradition has advanced considerably. That's handy. We got 2 era score for that. Record-setting river flooding. That was a big flood. Alright. It does look like I might be able to do some damage against this scout. So let me try it. Because if I can... I'm a little bit worried about the health of the scout. But I also feel like if my scout's going to have more health at the end of this fight. So let's risk it. I don't like taking risks with my scouts. You might have noticed I'm running the Scout Plus mod, which is an old favorite of mine, for the reason that I just described. It makes scouts a little bit more survivable. Scouts become very powerful towards the end of the game, but it's very hard to hold on to scouts in the vanilla game because they have a tendency to walk up to threats and be very squishy and not be able to do anything about the fact that they've just walked up to a threat. So you can be cautious, but because their visual range is so limited, the Scout Plus mod makes it easier to see a little bit farther so that you're less likely to just stumble upon anything ridiculous. So I guess I'm being pretty brazen given my preferences with scouts at the moment, but I really would like to try and eliminate that barbarian. Granted, he doesn't have anyone to report to now, but he actually is likely to kamikaze against my scout now that I think about it, since I've killed his encampment. But yeah, Gorgo doesn't like me, and I need to build more military units so that she is less likely to think about spicy things. I could train a slinger, which might be the most useful thing to do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's buy a slinger in Rockadet so that that city has ranged defenses if necessary. Next turn. Please and thank you. All right, so the slinger is back and attacking me. Shocking no one. Let's go ahead and hit these guys. I believe I'm running, if memory serves, I am running the... Let's check. Checking the mod list, obviously. That's the more Barbarian XP. I don't think I'm running... Yeah. So there is a mod that I sometimes use which grants more experience from fights so that less XP is... Actually, I think it just reduces the thresholds for promotion. But I am not running that mod at present, I do not believe. And the scout did not kamikaze. I, however, don't trust the game to keep my scout alive, so I'd rather have them shelter in place. If they get attacked, they'll win the fight because of this stance and because they're on hills. And hopefully not die. We still have to get that goodie hut that we've been staring at the entire game. Now, this is very interesting. I can go ahead and build a city that's going to be really vulnerable to Gorgo and that she will probably try to attack. But there are lots of floodplains, so this would be an ideal city to capitalize on, especially before she thinks about forward settling me. So it's either... Yeah, the Plains Hills approach, I'm going to have to kind of eschew that. But I think it's recommending this tile. That's a floodable tile, but so is this and so is this. I think what I would rather do is be a little bit closer to those olives. And there's gold over there too. It's another mod that I'm running. Because that normally is only available in the Gifts of the Nile scenario. But since we're playing as Egypt, now we have gold available just on the map. Yeah, I really, really, really want those olives. And I want to be near this cattle so that the city can grow. We don't have any Plains Hills tiles, unfortunately, so we won't get that nice production bonus, but the bonuses we'll get from everything else are going to be really, really nice, I think. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem. So I guess what I should do, ideally... Yeah, it seems like maybe this could be the best tile to go for. Because nothing's going to get me closer to the gold. I think it's the gold that threw me off a bit. So let's put this settler right there. And stop hemming and hawing about it. Choose production. Okay. Important moment. So I could go for an additional settler, but I really want to get our holy site going. Doesn't look like I have enough gold at the moment to buy the tile I would like to place it on, though. So I think what I'm going to do instead is we're going to build a warrior just in preparation for potential shenaniganry from Gorgo, because she's unfriendly towards me right now because we've never fought anyone. The game just started, so it's like not like I can help it. Yeah, we can't even send her a delegation because she's cranky. So that's early game Gorgo for you. Can't do anything about it. One thing that's going to be, I'm probably going to regret saying these words out loud during this series, but I'll go ahead and say it. One thing that's going to be interesting about this series, for those of you who have been watching one or more of my other series since I came back, you know that obviously I've had to kind of get used to commentating again, and I'm still very much getting used to commentating again on games. But one thing that is different with Civilization 6 is that I have actually played Civ 6 a good bit, even while the channel was offline. And I would say, I'm so going to regret saying this out loud, I would say that I am better at Civ 6 now than I was the last time I played Civ 6 on the channel. Which is kind of funny because we're still playing on King difficulty. Again, we're playing a cocktail of mods, right? That I'm not as familiar with. So I wanted to be cautious. All right, I need to eliminate this scout because he's going to pose a threat to my settler otherwise. One thing I could do just to be extra safe is I could move... You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep my slinger with that settler. It's going to take an extra turn to get down to where I need to be, but I'd rather do that. Okay, so this always makes me nervous, especially on higher difficulty, because the game's predictions of, like, what would grant victory and what wouldn't sometimes lie. So I'm going to risk this, even though I don't quite trust it, because I feel like if I can eliminate that scout, I get the experience in a higher... Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so that nearly killed my scout. Didn't quite get them promoted, but now they're safe. So yay. And we got a tech boost for that towards bronze working. Nice. Not expecting that, I have to say. Was not expecting that. All right. So next turn. Oop. An unmet player has finished building the Great Path. Really? I guess we are on turn 19, so that's fair. All right, let's get this scout into Rocketette and get them healing up. And then we're going to move this settler down to there. All right, I'm going to move this warrior up to that goody hut before that scout finds it first. I'm hoping they don't have the... Obviously, I can't see their promotion tree, but I'm hoping they don't have the woods movement bonus, because if they do, I might be in trouble. I think it's a pet peeve for every Civilization 6 player alive when an enemy player, like, snipes goody huts that are basically within your eminent domain that should be yours to claim. Like, this scout is definitely going to do that because they're heading into an area that I haven't had a chance to scout yet on account of their barbarians. Such a pet peeve. All right, so we have another 1,000-year flood. Wow, lots of heavy flooding. Lots of heavy flooding happening in there. We'll have to be mindful of that. All right, so let's go this way. I'm trying to chart the best path in that direction. We'll put that scout on guard. And now that we have pottery unlocked, we can build the granary, we can build the Great Bath Wonder, and we can harvest bonus resources that have been improved by, or that can be improved by farms. We don't... That's interesting that it says that. Allows harvesting of bonus resources improved by farms. Have they changed that? Do you have to improve them by farms first in order to harvest them? Because I don't think that's what that means. In my experience, what it means is that you can harvest a bonus resource instead of building a farm on it. Or maybe it's saying that you can only harvest the bonus resources that are improvable by farms. Maybe that's what it means. Okay, decisions. So I could go for writing and have the ability to improve my technology a little bit sooner, or I could go for animal husbandry and unlock the position of horses a little bit sooner. This will take 5 turns. Riding will take 7 turns. I do have the boost for riding, but so does Gorgo because she's met me. So it's not like I have some huge advantage there. And we're playing on king difficulty, so she already has a few bonuses. I think I would rather know where the horses are, so that, especially if she brings horses, I can be ready. I want to be a little bit defensive, and chances are we're going to have to attack Gorgo if she doesn't attack me. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we've got a little bit more of an army now. Still nothing compared to Gorgo's, but we're getting there. Ooh, we've got some desert up here and some more gold. Very good. All right, so now we can settle Akhenaten. And our very first production here should be, I would say, either a holy site or a builder. I'm kind of tempted to make it a holy site for reasons you're going to see when we get our Pantheon. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and just make a holy site. Oof. Decisions. Yeah, let's do it. Because we have the food bonuses. Notice this. Notice these yields. This is Ptolemaic Cleopatra's bonus working for us. We're getting additional food from those floodplains tiles. If you want a quick review, here it is. Resources along floodplains. Oh, it's actually resources. Okay. So that's interesting then. That means that, like this wheat, for example, once it's in my territory, this will get additional food and culture. Okay. Okay. I read that in the beginning, but then I think my brain defaulted to it's all tiles, but it's resources specifically. That's fine. That wheat can still belong to Akhetaten, and we will be able to benefit from that. All right, now in Rockadad, we can build our holy site, and we can build it where we want it. So, question is, do we put it here? I would rather put it here so it can't be damaged by flooding. But I could also put it up here, to where it wouldn't take up that amazing production tile, and we could put something potentially better there. Ooh. Plus, it's less likely to get damaged in an attack if Sparta comes from the south. So let's put our holy site over. Yeah, let's put it here. Holy site's going to go there, next to the river. You'll see why. Just hold on to your hats. We're going to keep skipping turns with that builder. We still have 2 builds available. I could go ahead and... Ooh, I could do that, couldn't I? Yes, I could. Let's go ahead and move this builder down to Akhetaten and have them improving stuff down there. How about that? Didn't think about that till just now. Akhetaten needs more amenities to keep it productive. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Game, settle down. That scout is annoying me. All right, let's finally get that goodie hut. Casket of the Evangelist. Hey. Okay, so we got a relic right away. So we not only got an extra era score point for clearing the goodie hut, but we got a relic, which gives us, let's take a quick look at that, shall we? Gives us additional faith per turn and tourism. Tourism doesn't matter at all yet, but the additional faith per turn will really help. Not with the great profit. We need profit points for that, but it'll help us move towards our Pantheon. So right now we have +1 faith per turn, but next turn we're going to have a lot more, which means in just a few turns we'll get our Pantheon, which will help with those holy sites we're building. Yeah, see, now we're at +5. Pantheon is going to be granted at 16. So next turn. Next turn indeed. All right, I am a little bit worried about that warrior. I kind of want to bring them home so that they don't die. Might do that. I also want to get that scout moving again. Okay, Gorgo is cranky. Surprising no one. We have the same amount of science per turn right now as Gorgo. She is producing 3 times as much culture. So we're going to need to catch up there. All right, we have unlocked the ability to build pastures just in time because we're sending a builder down there. Camps, horses, and we can now harvest cattle, sheep, and deer. So yeah, that initial harvesting must have been referring to, like, harvesting wheat specifically. Which, good to know. All right, I think what I'm going to do here is go ahead and use the builder to improve the cattle tiles. And I'm tempted to send them back and improve this one here. One thing that's a little bit depressing, well, not depressing, it's just sad. It's sad, that's all it is. One thing that's a little bit sad about this start is that there's no desert tile near me. I'm going to have to get a city way up here, which won't be too hard. But if I'm going to build the pyramids, which, you know, Egypt, hello, then I'm going to need to get a city over here as soon as possible. So that's going to be a priority, I think, soon-ish. All right, I'm going to go for writing now. We'll go for mining in a bit. I know I need mining in order to get those pyramids. I know, but we need campuses in order to have science advancement in general. So I'm going to go ahead and move the scout out and have them looking around again. Yeah, let's go improve those sheep. We've got one more build on the builder, and I really want to make sure that I get the most out of both cities right now. Oh, new city-state. Who've we met? We've met Caguana. They've given us a new quest, train a Marianu chariot archer, and there's our Pantheon. So Caguana is a... We are not, of course, the first to meet them, sadly, so we don't get a free envoy. But they're a cultural city-state. Let's see what their bonus is if we become their suzerain. We probably won't. Gorgo's right next to him, so she's kind of likely to default to either wanting to conquer them, which is possible because, Sparta, or she will want to become their suzerain as quickly as possible. Your builders can now make bate improvements. +1 culture for every adjacent bonus resource in an entertainment complex. Provides tourism after researching flight. Can be built adjacent to another bate. All right, so that's not particularly useful because we are Egypt and we can build the Sphinx. Hey, Pantheon, river goddess. +2 amenities and 2 housing to cities if they have a holy site district adjacent to a river. Yeah, let's do that immediately. Thanks. Now, somehow, we still don't have enough amenities. I think it's probably because we just need to improve a resource somewhere. Yeah, that makes me sad. So we need bonus resources, basically. We have gypsum in our territory, so we'll have that very soon. Oh, you see what I see? Here's Gorgo getting spicy. Saw this coming. All right, so thankfully I do have this slinger here, and we will soon be able to train additional military units. So, honestly, especially if I get this warrior back in time, I think I'm fairly prepared to deal with Gorgo. Tell you what, let's... For safety's sake, I'm going to go ahead and move this warrior. They're not healed. We've met Ungazar Gamut. Now, unfortunately, Gorgo met them first because she scouted up here ahead of us, which is incredibly rude. I'm not spicy at all. I meant to say salty, which is an indication of how salty I actually am. Bringing our first district online has proven the value of conscripting workers for state projects. So we got a boost towards state workers.
Craftsmanship,
nice.
Inspiration is a mere reed shaken in the wind.
All right, so since we found our Pantheon, I'm definitely going to switch to urban planning. This gives +1 production in all cities. And I can also increase production towards ancient and classical melee, anti-cavalry, and ranged units. I'm going to do that because I feel like Gorgo is about to get a little bit testy, and I want to be ready for her. So let's now go ahead and research either foreign trade or military tradition. Military tradition. Seems like military tradition might be a better idea right now. Let's do that. How about that? Okay, this is where decisions get really interesting because I need an additional city. I need additional defensive forces to keep myself safe. I need the shrine so that I can start building up great profit points. Now, does the... Yeah. See, the holy site by itself does not do that. So I'm going to get a slinger done in Rockadet so we have the ranged defenses. I'm going to keep moving that unit back. And we're going to start moving around with that scout. Bringing our first district online. Yeah, that's what it was. In the back of my mind, I was like, why did I get that boost again? And there you go. Wow, she is really, really getting spicy. All right, I'm going to move this warrior here to protect that builder in case she declares this turn. It looks like she's about to declare, though. She's really thinking about it. I'm pretty confident right now, especially with that slinger being done next turn. I'm going to be able to defend myself, especially if I get this warrior back and healed up. It's just going to be a little bit interesting for this next little bit. And if she happens to kick my butt, which is possible, then we can do a restart and it's fine. I think I've prepared decently for this. Let's go ahead and turn off yields. A little bit of map clutter there. Okay. So, can I like ask her to back off right now? No, I can't. Unfortunately. Now she is standing on the tile I want to improve, which is incredibly rude. Let's have that warrior chill out for a bit. So, at this point, this is tough. I want all of these things. But which is the most important? I mean, the game is recommending a settler, and I kind of tend to agree. Did I set Akhenaten to growth bonus? Yes, I did. I kind of tend to agree with that. But it's going to take the longest time of any of my options. But then I'll still be 5 or 6 turns away from starting a settler. So Yeah, maybe I need that settler. Let's go for it. Now I could go for killing this. I could attack this scout with my scout and gain some additional experience, potentially level them up. It looks like it might take a little bit more combat than that. Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, going to take a little bit more combat than that to level them up. That's fine. All right, so our warrior is back in town. I'm going to have them shelter up and hopefully not die if Sparta attacks me, which could happen this next turn. They seem to have their units in position. If they're going to try it, which the AI, seeing the situation, you would think would go, maybe let's not. But it's Sparta. And she's got a big head right now, so watch. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe she's...
Writing is easy.
Doing a little bit of...
Just cross out the wrong words.
Thank you, Mark Twain. Sorry, I interrupted Sean Bean. I don't know what came over me. My bad. Sorry, Sean. So, now we have that. Let's definitely go for mining. Oh, will you get off my tile? Like, I literally brought this builder back to build on that tile, and you are just ruining my day on purpose, and it's rude. All right, so let me move this warrior back in. I'm going to try and get them in Rockadet. Yeah, we're going to keep that warrior kind of sheltered there. She might be waiting to build additional units. Yeah, let's go ahead and eliminate this scout. It's going to hurt my scout again, which means I'm going to have to shelter them in place, but I would rather they had that experience because now one more combat will give them the next particular upgrade on the path. Up, there it is. There it is. Surprising literally no one. Okay, so Gorgo has declared a surprise war. Your progress towards defensive tactics has advanced considerably. Your progress towards early empire has advanced considerably. I'm going to... All right, so we have the advantage here of this warrior being across a river from every attacking unit. So that's going to affect the damage output of everyone else. I'm going to move this warrior into place here so they can heal up and be safe. Now, I'm kind of tempted to move this slinger out of Akhetaten, but I also feel like that would be a very bad move, right? I'm making a good amount of gold per turn, so if I can hold out for a few more turns, I might be able to buy another slinger in Rockadet and do additional defensive damage. And of course, before too long, I'm going to be able to actually... Ooh, see, I kind of want to just keep this unit fortified, because they're going to get attacked from all sides. The river's going to help defend them, and then they can get a promotion. I think I'm just going to keep them fortified. Yeah, it's not going to be too long before I can upgrade these slingers to archers. All right. Now, of course, I can move this builder here. They can't do anything this turn, but I will be able to improve this sheep next turn, thankfully. So, somewhat humorously, their attack caused them to move the unit that was giving me grief. So now I feel better about that situation. All right, so this is going to be a little challenging. Ooh, they might actually win this. Oh, good, they're attacking the slinger. That's very lucky. All right, Ancient Era ends in 10 turns. Okay, so this is tough because I could back off. First of all, let's go ahead and build that. She's likely just to destroy it in a bit. If I play defensively here, I don't want to give up this amazing position, but I feel like if what happened just now happens again, that warrior's going to die. So I kind of want to get this warrior to safety. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, because they have to take additional turns to get across that river. So they only have one unit that can possibly do damage to my slingers right now, and I can damage them and maybe get a little bit of combat experience. The slinger might die. But now things are a little better. Unfortunately, I'm headed for a Dark Age. That barbarian encampment has really slowed down my exploration. I haven't met that many city-states. I haven't discovered that many goody huts. And Gorgo has declared war on me. So interesting start to things here. Spicy start. I like it, though. What the heck? Oh, Kagawana. Or Bandar Brunei. Oh, I haven't met Bandar Brunei yet, but now I have. Thanks for that. Your program. Because she just made Bandar Brunei her... She's now suzerain of Bandar Brunei. That actually allowed me to meet them, which gave me the boost towards political philosophy. Thank you, Gorgo. I appreciate you so much. That's so funny. All right, so now things are going to get a little bit more troublesome. Tell you what, let's move this warrior back here. Let's move the slinger in here. Have them fire on this unit. That's the thing. They have to get through all of these woods and rivers to even get to me. I'm also, because they're now on this side of the river, check out the... this is going to be mean. It's a little bit spicy of me, but if she has a lot more troops, I could be in trouble here. But if I can distract them a little bit by using this to do damage to their slinger here, that might help me win the fight overall. It depends on if there are other units outside of the just range of my vision, which I don't know. Yes, I just cleared a bunch of notifications I hadn't read. Shut up! I'm focused on this stuff. Wow. So they just said hello to my slinger, but that helped me keep.
When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging.
Thank you, Will. All right, so we have access to building mines, we have access to the quarry improvement, and we can chop down woods and harvest copper. Not going to harvest copper, but we can if we want to. So I'm about to get a very important promotion for this slinger right now. Your knowledge of archery has advanced considerably. That's handy. I'm going to move this slinger right back into Akhetaten just protectively. And this war so far is going very well. I will research archery defensively. I think that's the right move to make. All right, so they're going to try hard to hit Rocket Dead here, but I think I'm going to be able to pull this out.
Bravery.
Nice.
Is being the only one who knows you're
That
afraid.
is perfect. Flanking and support combat bonuses to all combat units. Perfect timing. Change policies. I don't think I want to change policies. I think I'm good with what I've got. Now I can train additional... I can buy a slinger or buy a scout. I can also... plus 10 combat strength when occupying either an improvement that provides defense strength or a district. So my slinger just got a lot stronger, and my warriors are healing up in the backdrop here. So looks like she does have archers, though. So I'm going to get that not a moment too soon. We're headed for a Dark Age, which is an amazing opportunity because I think if we can defeat her and then finally get some exploration done in the coming turns, what's going to happen is we might be able to get a heroic age for the next age transition. So yay. Foreign trade. Let's do it. We're not producing a lot of culture per turn right now, unfortunately. It's kind of annoying. Okay. I feel like I should train another warrior here. Just feels like the right move, you know? But another part of me wants to have an additional slinger because that will become an archer right before it finishes building. Slinger's going to take 4 turns. Archery's going to be done in 3. Let's do that. How about that? Alright, so they are hitting Rocket Dead as hard as they can, but what I'm about to do is going to hit them a lot harder. Also, I can do something kind of fun right now. Alright, so first of all, let's weaken that slinger. And now I'm going to hit that slinger with my warrior here, which should give them a promotion. Nope, not quite. One more fight. But that slinger is now next to dead. Yeah, so this defensive effort is going, I would say, stupidly well. Sad that we're going for a Dark Age, but we can play that to our advantage. Ooh.
May the forces of evil become confused while your arrow is on its way to the target.
It looks like Bandar Brunei. Oh yeah, we got that boost because we killed a unit with a slinger. Nice. So that finished a lot sooner. A lot sooner. Archery research already done. So Bandar Brunei might have gotten taken by someone else because now they're at peace with us. Interesting. Interesting development. So I'm going to go ahead and annihilate this slinger. This is going to do a couple of things. First of all, it's going to do several things. It's going to protect my holy site. It's going to allow my warrior to get a promotion and heal up. And help me prepare for the arrival of this archer. Let me go ahead and give this order to upgrade. You done goofed, Gorgo. All right, so I do... How close are we? 5 turns? There's not a lot I can do. There's not a lot that I can do to lock in. I can go for sailing, and if I had enough gold, which I am not going to, if I had enough gold, I could, like, build a boat. If I had a tile where... Like, if I had a free builder and a tile where I could build a Sphinx, that would give me all the era score I needed. But we're under attack, and I have to focus my efforts elsewhere. I can, however, send this settler off to settle near the Libyan desert here. It looks like there are several good tiles here. Yeah, it's kind of a blind move, but I'm going to do it. I want you to go that way. Okay, so we're almost done for this episode, I think. I want to see if I can finish putting Gorgo on her back heels, because this is going pretty well. But now I really do want to get this shrine built, because I don't want what she's doing here to get in the way of the rest of the game, and we need to get our religion underway. Let's go to the next turn, because this archer is about to be able to wreak havoc. It's going to be great. Alright, so this warrior is promotable. We're going to give them the defense bonus against ranged attacks. Obvious reasons. I'm going to have to keep close eye on that settler. But this is going to be absolute savagery in the next turn or two, whether it's this episode or next. Let's go to turn 40 for this episode. That'll be a good chunk of turns out of the way. I've always found quick to be a good speed to play on, just for my style and for my channel. That might change in the future, but for now, I think quick is pretty good. No, let's just keep you fortified for now. Alright, so unsurprisingly, they're still going for Rocket Debt. They have not pillaged that pasture, which is really surprising. And they moved their archer in range of my warrior, so yes please, thank you very much. Let's kill the unit that could potentially pillage my pasture. Get some experience for my archer. Oh, hello. Alright, need to be careful here. Let's go ahead and fortify. See what I mean? There's a scout just walking up on trouble. Need to be careful with that. Now, I can bring my archer in here and really seal the deal. Now they're flanked. Oh, wow. Did you just do that? Okay, you did. Cool. Alright. Watch this. 1,000-year flood. Wow. Yeah, that's going to happen a lot, and that might have also hurt my archer. It did. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, well, let's first of all annihilate their archer. We are going to survive and kill them. I'm going to use this. Yeah, it's the archer that should do it. All right, so Gorgo's attack force has been completely defeated. Get wrecked, Gorgo. Let's move you here. Go to the next turn, and this will be a good stopping point, I think, for the episode. Our scout is under attack. That's fair. Promotion available. Perfect timing. So with that, your knowledge of machinery has advanced considerably.
Vessels large may venture more, but little boats should keep near shore. Every nation lives by exchanging.
Okay. Well, that's useful. How many more turns? Hold on. One more turn until the Ancient Era. Can't do much. I'm going to go ahead and give the Scout the Guerrilla promotion. The very next promotion will make them much stronger in combat, which is lovely. An unmet player has finished building the World Wonder Etemenanki. Sad day. Okay. We're at the beginning of turn 40. I'm going to stop this episode here. It looks like there's another warrior approaching, which I am so tempted to just annihilate right now, but I will go ahead and back this archer off, have them hang out in Nakatoten. In the next episode, we're going to finish this war with Gorgo, most likely, and then try to get this city over here peacefully settled. As soon as we can go ahead and move that settler one tile closer. Hopefully there's not a barbarian nearby that could threaten that settler, because that could really put a monkey wrench in my plans. But I don't think this has slowed me down too much. We'll have to see. An early war can always be a little bit problematic in Civilization 6 playthroughs, especially once you get up to higher difficulties, but proved for an interesting first episode, which I can never really complain about. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.